Boo. Hey. Hey guys, Professor Bill, Comic Book University. Merry post Christmas. And that's actually a thing. Like, the Christmas is Christmas. The day before Christmas is Christmas Eve. The day before Christmas Eve is Christmas Eve Eve. The day before Christmas Eve Eve is Christmas Eve Eve Eve. The day after Christmas is Christmas Eve 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 Eve. That's a stupid dad joke, and I've been telling it since I was a kid. Anyway, I think at some point you really just stop learning new jokes unless you're a stand-up. So what's going on, everybody? Cryptid, what's up, Cryptid? How you doing, man? Still reading U.S. Agent. I'm not. But man, the last issue didn't make me angry at a Jason Aaron. So that's a new standard, eh? But it still made me upset that it retconned John Walker's brother committed suicide instead of dying in a helicopter crash in Nam. Man, what's up with that? Oh, Mark, I literally just I'm still on the first or second breath of the podcast. It's not, nah, dude, we're good. Silva, what's going on, Silva? How you doing, brother? But the guy's gonna call everybody a poser. Maybe not in this episode. We'll see. So I've got I'm not opening my Christmas presents for you guys yet, but I am going to show you a bunch of the things that I got from an order that's actually been sitting. And yeah, just want to do this and figure. First off, while I'm showing you some of the things that I bought for myself for Christmas, why don't you guys tell me some of the things that you guys got for Christmas? Because I'm curious. What's up, John Thomas? How you doing, man? He's like, probably. Okay. Bang. Sorry. Promised somebody something. John versus Pinhead. John Ho. John Ho. John Thomas versus Pinhead? I don't know. John Thomas, let me. What are some of your qualifications for fighting? I mean, you're apparently against Pinhead at this point. Oh wait, Mark, were you talking about John Walker? Oh, okay, USA. I had to do it. I had to do it. You know what? You can't blame me. That was freaking funny. John's on the spot now. Like, wait, do I really have to fight Pinhead? Like, can I grab a bat or something? I just got here. Wouldn't that be funny? You walked in a room and all of a sudden it's like freaking Thunderdome and you got to fight some horror movie monster at some point. John Cena. It's John Cena. Oh, John Constantine. Oh yes, yeah, I wouldn't have expected that. Hey, thanks, Ike. Yeah, that actually came about because of my review of episode 6, which I was actually really upset. I mentioned I was triggered by it. Um, I didn't think anything negative of Carla and whatnot. So she actually reached out to me and she was probably expecting me to talk the whole thing about it. And it's like, I don't feel the need to talk about it. I just wanted to propagate you. I wanted to cause we sent emails back and forth to each other for a while and it was cool. Like she's an extremely understanding person and not afraid to also talk about stuff that she said that she was cool with talking about. I'll give it to somebody else to talk about those things. I don't feel like I need to give exclusives and, like cutting edge. It's not about me. Like what I do, it's not about me. It's about the comics or it's about the people who write and draw the comics. So somebody else can go and do that stuff. But for me, I think that she's a really wonderful person and, yeah, so I just figured, you know what? I did say some things that some people, even though I said I have nothing against her and I don't think that she did such and such on purpose, I did feel like maybe somebody was going to be like, eh. So I figured, you know what? Let me see if she wants to talk and, whatever. Anyway, what is this? Captain America. Just watched Wonder Woman. Wait, I get a World War II Captain America statue for my girlfriend and Captain America 80th anniversary Legends figure. Nice. But Cryptid, if she didn't get you anything Deadpool, then she only knows you on the surface level, man. I know you for the real you. You're a Deadpool guy. I'm saying. No, it's all good. That's actually really awesome. The World War II statue sounds really good. The 80th anniversary figure, that's awesome. The Legends figure. Yeah, I actually have 2 of those. what do you call it? I ordered one and they canceled it, or at least they said they canceled it. So I ordered another one, got that one in, and got the other one that they canceled. So I actually technically got that one for free, but I'm not a jerk, so I called them up and I was like, "Hey, you guys sent me one for free." It's like, "Oh, can you send it back?" I was like, "No, but I can pay for it." I figured, you know what? I'll save it, keep one in the box because it's a gorgeous figure. I know a lot of people do want that figure. You know, another figure that a lot of people want to get? Boom, this guy here. Arkillo. Anybody familiar with Arkillo? I'm going to get some more comments. Hold on there, my peeps. Anybody familiar with Arkillo? The Yellow Lantern? What do you call it? The DC Collecting Connect, right? This was one of the earlier Collecting Connects before there were BAFs, Build-A-Figures, and you put them together and whatnot, and then boom, you got Arkillo with you. But there was also another one that they released that is not as huge, which I don't really know that I need him to be that damn big because I mean he was huge, but I mean like he wasn't freaking what do you call like Crimson Dynamo level huge. You know what I'm saying? He's not going to beat Crimson Dynamo in a fight, you know, with his fists. He's going to be using the ring. And that other one was actually from the Blackest Night series, or the Sinestro. No, yeah, the Blackest Night series. He actually what you call it? Was that what it was called? Oh crap. Oh well, whatever. Anyway, he he actually came with the tongue. The Build-A-Figure one did not come with the tongue. You know what's so funny about this? I didn't get the Collecting Connect. I got the one that I was talking about. You gotta have the tongue. You gotta have the tongue. Remember, he had his tongue ripped out and he wore it around his chest because he's not going to be ashamed for anything. I got this one. It doesn't have quite as much articulation, like the legs don't kip out. The arms do, but the legs don't kip out. But you know what? I'm okay with it. You know what I'm saying? Because I don't need him to be this powerhouse bruiser that's going to be like kicking people in the head. If he does, it'll be a quick little boom like that. But for the most part, look at this, man. Look at this. Look at this. Oh, God, this is gorgeous. This is gorgeous. So digging the hell out of that figure. Let's get some more stuff. Arthur English, give me your point of view of the current Flash overall. Sounds kind of demanding, especially when I'm not doing the reviews right now. I don't know you, bud. Yeah. So and with the movie and the TV and the comic books, sure, I like them. Uh, did you watch Wonder Woman 1984? No, I did not. Actually, I have a buddy who gave me his HBO Max code and all that stuff to watch. And I thought I had my VPN installed, but when I switched computers, I don't actually have my VPN on here. I've got a server one that just shows me from a general Canadian area. I'm in Mississauga. But anyway, mine shows like a general Canadian area. And yeah, anyway, so I don't have it installed. And I really wasn't that interested in watching in the first place. It just, I don't know. I'm going to be talking about it a little bit in the podcast. Again, I'm going to be talking about it from a view of I didn't see it. This is just what other people are saying and whatnot, because a lot of people I know are not happy with it at all, or at least almost at all, which is interesting. Which is interesting. But you know me, I'm going to take it from a completely different standpoint. I don't care if, you know, somebody thinks it was good, awesome. Somebody thinks it was bad, awesome. I'm just more about talking about the behind the scenes stuff, you know? But yeah, in case you're interested, there's now a new person who is U.S. agent. Really? Huh, cool. Well, guys, you heard it there. If you didn't already read it, go out and grab. I'm sure there's plenty of copies where you're at. Go buy issue number 2 of U.S. Agent. First appearance of a new person, maybe just a first new person as U.S. Agent, maybe whatever. Is it the Japanese guy? It's probably the Japanese guy, isn't it? Hey, Paula, what's up? How you doing? Hold on, it's jumping. Do you think that the current run on Flash is okay? I'm not reading it. I'd be reviewing it if I was reading it. So I don't know. I actually just found out like 2 weeks ago that somebody new is writing it, that it's not Williamson anymore, which is, wow, when did that happen? And did he go out with a bang? So yeah, I kept on meaning to go and buy it. I just haven't been. But dang, the flag only had 48 stars. What's up with that? Whoa, 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 whoa. What happened to freaking Mexico and Guatemala? They're not states anymore? I'm joking. Um, I actually should have said Puerto Rico instead of Guatemala. That would have been freaking hysterical. But anyway, yeah, I know, Hawaii and Alaska. Wow, that's messed up. That's freaking messed up. So nobody told me. Well, only Cryptid told me what he got for Christmas. What about everybody else, man? What'd y'all get? What'd y'all get? How about for Hanukkah, stuff like that, man? Come on. Does anybody else listen to the Jim Cornette podcast? He did a thing. He did a thing where the guy who his co-host, the great Brian Last, awesome guy in his own right, an asshole from Jersey, I can relate. He says we got to get you on Cameo because there are people making tons of money on Cameo. And he's like, I don't have time to do Cameo. He's like, people go crazy for it. He's like, that's why I don't want to do it, because I don't need people to be going crazy for it. I need to chillax, man. Come on. I want to just relax in my retirement. But so he started trying to show him what some of the other people out there are doing for Cameo. If you don't know what Cameo is, it's basically you go on Cameo and you look up some celebrities. Hey, this celebrity, this famous celebrity, it will do a 30-second to a minute long whatever hi to me or to somebody I know. I just have to give a little bit of information and they'll send it back. So it's usually something that you give as gifts, you know? I was thinking about doing it for some of the Star Trek characters for my wife, you know, and just, but like they charging a lot of money. It's like, no, I know her. She would punch me dead in my sternum if I did just like closed fist, boom, just punch me dead. Like, if I ever did spent money for something as dumb as that, she would be pissed. Now she would go for an autograph signing, but even like the live chat, she wouldn't be interested in. But the guy started showing a bunch of other wrestlers doing things, and he showed some of the other people, you know, doing some cameos also. One of them was Smokey Robinson. Now, if you don't know who Smokey Robinson is, okay, it's cool. It's a thing of the times. One of the great freaking singers from back in the day. All right. You know some of his songs. Look up Smokey Robinson's greatest hits. You'll see them. But Smokey Robinson apparently was not familiar with the alternative spelling of Hanukkah. You know, like there's H, Hanukkah, and then there's CH, which is supposed to like really show the proper phonetic pronunciation, Hanukkah. You know what I'm saying? Most people, you know, like Chanukah. No. Hanukkah. Open it up. It's a Semitic sound. So he just goes, yeah, and they wanted me to wish you a happy Chanukah. Now I don't know what Chanukah is, but I know there's lots of celebrations out there. You can actually go on Cameo, I think it's .com, whatever it is, and you can check out some of your friends. So you can go and look up Smokey Robinson on Cameo, and you can see the one that he does. Hysterical. Like, I feel bad for the guy. And at the end of the day, like, it's the person's fault who sent the stuff. You don't type in or write in CH Hanukkah. Like, the guy's old. The guy's super old. Like, we're lucky that he's even still with us. He's typing in this crazy stuff. What are you thinking about, man? So, some of the other things, I'm going to check out some of the other things in here. Swamp Thing versus Hulk. Oh, we've seen that before. Plenty of time. Oh, no, we've seen Man Thing versus Hulk. I don't know. Wouldn't it be funny if Hulk just like got so mad out that World Breaker destroyed like all the freaking plants in the world? But again, DC Comics versus a Marvel comic character. Here's something interesting. Check out Kate Pride. Kate Pride. This is actually kind of weird. I ordered this one a while ago. This is the only reason I'm talking about this because it's freaking hysterical to me. I ordered this when it was still Ellen Page. This is the Ellen Page version. She's called Ellen Page, and now she came out. Now it's he. He came out that he actually identifies as a male, Elliot Page. And it's like, oh my God, this is really awkward because this has been sitting on my shelf for a couple of weeks, just like, I'll get around to talking about these, pretty soon. But this is the pack that I got, so whatever. And like, this was just in it. And I'm just like, oh crap. I can't even say, like, what am I going to say? It's like, I'm irreverent, and it's like, I don't bear any hate or ill will towards anybody. So take it for what it is. It's just me. It's freaking funny. It's like, this person has crossed so many platforms before coming to my doorstep. So that's freaking wild to me. Let's read a couple more things as I'm summoning a spell of sorts. Anybody wonder what spell? Hellbat is coming next year for DC Multiverse. What do you mean Hellbat is coming? Like the Hellbat armor? Huh. Kill Swampy or warp him somehow. Hulk for the win. Thor versus Shazam. Oh no, it's got to be Thor. It's got to be Thor. Like I see a fight where Shazam and Thor are actually going at it with each other, and Shazam does that trick that he does, where it's like, oh, look, I'm just a kid, boom, 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 boom. But he would have had to have already been Shazam to begin with, right? Captain Marvel. He'd have already had to be him at first. So, what do you call it? He would, do the trick and just be like, Shazam! But then nothing would happen. He'd be like, wait, what? And he's like, and Thor would just be like, I'm the god of thunder. Do you think that the thunder would do something that I didn't ask it to? He'd be like, but these come from the gods. Like, and Thor would just be like, no, it comes from a wizard. I am a god, and I did not give that lightning permission to hit you. God, that would just be such an amazing moment. Like, obviously, I'm just ad-libbing it right now, but you do it in a really dramatic way, and forget about it. Forget about it. No, Thor versus Captain Marvel. At some point, Captain Marvel, Shazam, he does something stupid. He does something stupid. He does the freaking trick thing where he turns back into Batson and plays on, I'm just a kid. And he gets his ass handed to him. Like Thor just turns around and gives him a spank with Mjolnir. Lightly. All right. And no child abuse here. Hawaii and Alaska are still territories until the 1950s. Yeah. And they were the last two states to become states. Bow. Absolute Carnage was the character redemption Cletus Cassidy needed. What's funny is I don't think that he was necessarily in need of redemption. He was always shown as this crazy guy who was always ridiculously hard to beat. Like it took the entire Marvel universe to beat him, which is crazy, but I love it. Corey, what's going on, Corey? How you doing, brother? Oh, there's the nods back and forth. Williamson ended before Halloween. Okay. Bat forgave Thawne and anchored him back in the century. Christmas question I can answer on Discord. Okay. Christmas questions I can answer on Discord. Whatever. You can ask them here. Whatever. So whatever. Now the new character is entirely new. He's a black guy. The Japanese guy, though, seems like he's going to be John Walker's new Bucky. Freaking Green Hornet and Kato, right? Well, he's finished with a bang, but a humongous retcon to Reverse Flash. Oh, crap. Now I got to read it. Yeah, I stopped reading it. Just started to get a little bit too much, But that's DC lately. It's just been getting a bit too much. Anyone celebrate Festivus? I could go get a poll real quick. It's not that big of a deal. In the words of Donald, huge. Did see Wonder Woman 84, and it was meh, not bad, not great. The best part was the mid-credit scene. Anyhow, it was better than the last Fantastic Four movie. Damn, when that's the bar, you know what? I got to bring that up in the podcast tonight. Like that is wow. When that's the bar, oh, that's terrible. Like, well, it was better than Fan Four Stick. Yo, you know what? That deserves a little bit of a summoning spell. Gone, gone, the form of man. Arise, the demon Entrican. This is a very sought after character. I know because I've been soughting after it I've been seeking it for a very long time, like easily over a year. Like once easily over a year, easily over 3 years since I started recollecting my toys. I had it originally, and again, gone the form of my character and sold in a freaking eBay auction or something, I guess, that I didn't have anything to do with. But I got to get a Jason Blood character now. You know what I'm saying? Got to get a freaking Jason Blood character now because crap, man. Oh, Etrigan. Brah, let's go. Got another DC character about to come up pretty soon. It's fairly gaudy, fairly godly. Motown. Smokey Robinson because the office. Okay, I got to go down a lot more because these are really freaking old stuff. Okay, Mr. DC Comics, Shazam has the wisdom of Solomon, but how is the wisdom of Solomon showed? Here's a trivia question. How is the wisdom of Solomon depicted in the DC Comics? It's depicted as an eidetic memory, which isn't wisdom at all, right? It's a memory. But it's the idea that, you know, he can't bring up the ideas from great Scott, like he can't bring up Sophocles and stuff like that from the past. No, he just simply has a great memory. So if he were to ever actually try to have some wisdom, he would look up a bunch of these old books, look up military strategy, look up all sorts of things like that. No, he has a photographic memory. That's basically the way that it's been depicted in the universe. It wasn't like, you know, guidance from the sages or something like that. But then again, even if he did have the guidance of the sages, Thor is how many millennium old? So there's that. Is that real? Like, am I looking at something real here? That's a little goofy. You call me a loser and say that you want to debate me? Little odd, but okay. that's that's your choice there, cheese. But anyway, I don't know, like that's not a debate if you're just gonna call me a loser. Like we could have a conversation, even if you're not the real EVS. Like we could have a freaking conversation, but I don't think I've ever said no to anybody. But just start off with like a loser. Is that projection? Like that breaks my heart. That generally breaks my heart. Also, I would think that the real EVS would be smarter than to come on and just attack somebody like that. That's uh feel better. Feel better, kiddo. Try harder next time too. Okay, Asgardians versus New Gods. Well, I don't know. Why don't we ask a new god? This is a character that I actually never had before. And you guys saw that I have the original version of Kalibak also, which is freaking epic. I'm just saying. This is the newer version of Kalibak. I gotta admit, although Jack Kirby, like, dude, Jack Kirby's the man, right? But this is definitely a cooler version. So I'm definitely loving this version of Kalibak. Like this is hot right here. So bang. Loving this. Absolutely loving this. Comes with his mace and everything. Old school. He's even got a little clip. This is something I never knew about him. He actually has a clip on the back for the mace. So sick. Oh, and this guy here, which I actually did see, his little band, so he can actually slide in here or he can put it on his back. Absolutely digging on this. This great storytelling with these. I got a couple more DC things to show. Damn, I got a lot more DC things to show. Yo, this has been sitting on my shelf for a while. Holy crap, this stuff has been sitting on my shelf for a while. Jeez. Okay, so let's see. Spoiler warning. Literally had to cover. Whoa, whoa, whoa! What was spoiler warning? Oh, What did I just accidentally spoil? Oh no, I didn't mean to spoil anything. I apologize. Terra Glitch, Wonder Woman was really meh. They should have done more with the 80s nostalgia. You'd figure, right? Again, I got to see it. I got to see it to know, and I will watch it one of these days. I'm just not going crazy trying to see it right now. But we'll see. What do we got there? What do we got there? What do we got there? How did you lose the original collection? Ah, Evan, it's a sad story. It goes way back in the day. You see, no, like real talk. When I was getting ready to go overseas to the Middle East, this was in 2011. I had plenty of time, well, enough time that I, needed. Like soldiers, you get whatever. Like it is what it is. Like you get a certain period of time, you're ready to go, and you go, and like, bam, let's go, right? And you got to do this stuff right the first time. Well, in this particular case, years later, 2011, I'm going over to the Middle East. I was not keeping my apartment because I was actually moving over there. And what do you call it? I got a storage bin for all of my stuff. So my PlayStation, it was a PlayStation 3 at the time, wasn't it? Yeah, I think it was a PlayStation 3. Anyways, when it first came out. I think maybe it was a later one. Anyway, whatever it was, like I had a whole bunch of games. Like I had some really cool stuff, man. I had some really cool stuff, including all of my collection. Now I'd given a whole bunch of my comics to my little brother. Enjoy. I've always donated comic books to, not always, but for a very long time, I donated comic books to hospitals. All right. But I'm not giving away the really good stuff. That was always in honor of Jim Shooter because I know that he gave, or he first got back into comic books real time because when he was in the hospital, there were a bunch of comic books there. And it's a really great story. Interviewed the guy, freaking genius. And, what do you call it? Like it's a big deal to me to make sure there are comic books in hospitals because you never know when the next Jim Shooter might come along. And it'd be great to hear. I'll never get direct credit for that, but I'm saying, um, what do you call it? So, but I still did have, I think, 9 boxes. It might be 8, but I want to say 9 boxes of comic books. And I'm talking like the entire original Marvel Transformers run. I gave my first Alf run to somebody else, but I had the first Alf run. I know it sounds silly, right? I like all these old comic books that talk about Jim Shooter. I had the original race between Flash and Superman. Like I had some amazing stuff. And when I moved, they told me it's going to take 3 months before I can get a credit card, that I could actually use overseas and whatnot. So I was like, all right, cool, whatever it is, what it is. And then, boom, I sent it, or I went there, and apparently it was 3 months after I get an Iqama, which is basically your green card in Saudi Arabia. Took me 3 months to get that, then 3 months to get the credit card. Now I paid for 3 months in advance I paid that month, so technically 4 months, but that month and then the next 3 months. And I was like, I'm good. And I'm always a guy who wants to do things on my own. I could have asked family members, could you spot me some money and go pay for my storage and whatnot? But I just didn't want to be that guy. You know what I'm saying? I just can't do that, It's one thing to rely on others, but then, yeah. So anyway, I wound up not being able to find a method of paying. I was making great money over there, guy. Like dude, I had a maid when I was over there. I'm saying I had a maid. You know what I'm saying? They gave me an apartment. They gave me a car. I had a maid. I hired a maid because I didn't want my wife to do work. I was just like, let's get a maid. I can afford a maid. Yeah. And yet I couldn't get my hands on a credit card fast enough to be able to get an appropriate payment because they didn't take, it was public storage at the time, 2011. They didn't have any kind of proper payment method. So yeah, I wound up screwing things up, and they wound up auctioning off my bin. So all of my original toys, all of my stuff, like all of my stuff, dude. It was freaking heartbreaking. And yeah, it's still a touchy subject. It's mostly a joke, but it's still a little bit of a touchy subject, is what it is. Do. What else we got? What we got? Oh, gee, saw another review saying Wonder Woman 84 is better than the Star Wars sequels. Oh my God, that's low. Suan is here. What's up, Suan? I was playing some serious. If you guys were watching me on Twitch, I was playing some serious Age of Conan with her yesterday. Age of Conan? No, Conan Exiles. Conan Exiles on Twitch yesterday. I don't have a huge following on Twitch, but that's fine. That's not really what I'm known for. um, I actually like the Star Wars sequels. This is how you could tell Rich isn't still in the chat because he would be flipping out right now. I'd be like, people who don't like the prequels are posers. But I actually like the Star Wars sequels. I know I'm an outsider in my opinion, but I will support them with my dying breath. Yeah, I didn't really like them that much. They weren't like necessarily terrible. Continuity wise, they were terrible. And as comic book fans, that's all we care about is continuity, right? So there's that. Signing off. People wanted to talk to me at Discord. What? Who's in the Discord? Who's in the freaking Discord? People want to talk to you in Discord. You mean my Discord? My Discord? Who's want to talk to you in the Discord? What was all this? Oh, you and Derek are hanging out in the freaking Discord instead of being here. That's fine. That's perfectly fine. What do we got there? What do we got there? Justin, Anya, what's up? Orion versus Thor. Oh, yeah. Orion. Here's the thing with Orion. He's supposed to be the Messiah character who rises up to beat his father, who's actually evil and all this stuff. And yeah, at the same time, nobody cares about Orion, right? Nobody cares about Orion. He didn't really beat Darkseid, did he? He was supposed to have. It was up. If it was up to Jack Kirby. See, Kirby was a special guy. Kirby was the kind of guy who's like, it's not about the franchise, it's about the story. And if you're going to kill a character, actually kill the character. You know, the way that he made the new gods, he originally made it so that the new gods were supposed to replace Thor and the Asgardians. That's right. He wanted to do the new gods in Marvel. And Stan Lee was like, and I don't have anything against Stan Lee, and Stan Lee was right in this regard. You know, obviously, look at all the great stories that we would have lost. We wouldn't have had the Walter Simonson run in comic books. So, like, history has shown that Jack Kirby was dead wrong in this particular regard. You could have taken any other pantheon, but don't do it with Thor because we had way too many cool stories to tell, you know? So there's that. But that being the case, yeah, he wanted to actually destroy the Marvel pantheon and replace them with the new gods. Doing it with DC was a lot easier because nobody cared about the pantheon over there. They were barely ever, if ever, used, right? But he wanted to be that Orion would eventually kill Darkseid. And then there would be all sorts of stories afterwards that he or others could tell about the secession of power and possibly return of Darkseid, right? Maybe Darkseid would be cast into the underground, much like, you know, Lucifer in the pit, right? It could have been anything like that. And he was talking about doing things like that afterwards if you look up enough of his interviews, most of them written, you know? He also Roy Thomas's Alter Egos book tells a lot about that stuff. Not book, the magazine, the publication, which is still in publication to this day. Some of the best interviews are in those books, but that was the original idea. Now, if that would have happened, Orion wouldn't have been a joke. But at the end of the day, Orion didn't win. He didn't do anything special. There was nothing special about Orion. And Superman chumps him here and there, you know, on occasion. They just had Mr. Miracle or Big Barda specifically chump him, which I understand. Big Barda is big epic, you know. But yeah, I wish they would have done more with Orion, but they just didn't. So I gotta go with Thor over Orion easily and handedly. Like, he spanks him with Mjolnir also, and this time not lightly. Like I wish Orion was done better, but people afterwards just like, no, it's a comic book franchise. We have to keep it going. And this is how you kept it going. So Darkseid won. Darkseid is the winner. Show us your DC shelf at some point. Oh, I don't really have that much up here. I even have my Green Lantern stuff that's not up yet. I just have this stuff here because I'm every so often I try to change stuff on my totally awesome poster stuff up here. I actually took stuff down from my. I'm actually in the process of trying to clean some stuff out. Yeah, sorry. Also, my Neil Adams autographed poster over here. That was when I did the interview with him. The freaking guy is amazing, absolutely amazing. More than happy to make fun of me at any moment, and you know, I've heard better insults in the military, but still, the guy's good. You know what he didn't call me? He didn't call me a poozer. I'm saying Kilowog. I got Kilowog. How sick is this? And there's also the Darkest Night thing, so his legs don't move. So he's essentially the same size as our Kilo, but Kilo does look a little bit bigger, right? But I got Poozer Man who, ooh, don't fall down, Kilo. But I got the Poozer Man himself, freaking Kilowog. Hells to the yeah. I also got a couple other Green Lanterns here, including the broccoli head guy. Mephisil, I think his name is, something like that. Something to that effect. I don't know this guy's name. Tark. Excuse me, like I shouldn't have even tried. Like it was horrible. But anyway, him. Also got this guy. Nobody knows who this guy is, right? Abin Sur. This is these two were from the DC original DC multiverse characters toy line. This is also from the Darkest Night toy line. There's no kipping in the legs. And this one also no kipping in the legs. But Tomari! I know it's going to sound silly, but after Hal Jordan, this is actually my favorite Green Lantern. Just the little bit of story they told in the past and the idea that he was such friends with Hal Jordan, helped him out and whatnot. Like he was the only guy who was actually really cool to him. Like I don't know why. I just loved the stories with him. Freaking amazing to me. So boom. Also, before I get back to the comments again, I showed you Tomar Ree. Here's Tomar 2. This is actually Tomar Ree's son, and he became a Yellow Lantern in the Sinestro Wars Blackest Night Jeff Johns run. And he's actually the DC Multiverse character because there is much kipping in the legs. It's like the easiest way to tell. Also the ab crunch, which the multiverse characters don't have. They just bend at the legs, right? While this guy can bend at the actual torso. So, and at the legs if you wanted to. Anyway, let's get back to... I was talking about Wonder Woman 1984. I haven't seen that or the trailers. I'm literally just one day away from seeing it. Oh, yeah, I didn't... Okay, I was going to say, I didn't give any spoilers for that. Like, you know me, I don't do that. I don't do it. Granted, the Amazing Spider-Man LR, most recent issue, what was that, 54? I accidentally gave a spoiler for that one. Like I was like, okay, no spoilers, but boom, 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 boom. And then like 2 minutes later, I'm like, so when such and such happened, and I was like, oh crap. And then I forgot to put spoilers in. I think I went back and put spoilers in. I hope I went back and put spoilers in it. Like I accidentally dropped a spoiler in this one. Oops. I think I said I accidentally dropped a spoiler halfway through. I put that in the title. Ooh. It sucks. Sorry to hear that. It's so cool to hear about how you donated comics to. I still donate comics to hospitals. Most of the comic books that I get, I actually still donate it to Bloor Children's Hospital. It's not right down the street, but it's essentially right down the street. What do you call it? Conan Exiles. I am awesome, especially catching the stream. Yeah. Sue-Ann was in the stream. She was kicking some butt, taking some names. I don't know if I think you went back and you were playing today. I was busy. Sorry. I did see when I logged on my computer, I saw that you were playing again. I stayed on and I built the walls, well, the front walls and the gates. And I figured if we move the stuff forward, then we could put the walls behind it and stuff. I'm saying, but you know, it's up to you guys. Otherwise things can jump down from the top. Wonder Woman 1984 was better than Captain Marvel? Really? You liked it better than Captain Marvel? Oh, okay, that's fine. Yeah, Marvel just kind of dragged after a while. That breaks my heart. Everything is better than Captain Marvel. Really? Fanforstic? Why did you say that name? I love that. Why did you say that name? Martha! I don't think that. I think that Captain Marvel was infinitely better than Fanforstic. Um, Jack Rabbit, is the Brazilian Wonder Woman a clay baby or River God dad? River God was her dad. I think so. I think that she's considered a demigod. I can't remember the name of the character, but it should be interesting. Like I said, I'm not going to do any reviews for it probably because again, in my opinion, just make new characters with new names. Though Comicsgate got a huge this is the funny thing about Comicsgate, man. Like they had such a great opportunity to do some good. I don't know about in the world, but in comic books, because they made some good points. The problem is there's too many misogynistic, racist jackasses in there who are just, boys, which is frustrating, but it is what it is. But there were a lot of good points made in there. Case in point, stop changing all of our characters because it was too much. It was just way too much. Axel Alonso wound up losing his job because of it. He's doing great things over in AWA. Whatever the hell it is, yeah, that one. They send me their books, so they yeah, AWA one shot, upshot, AWA upshot, yes. So anyway, Artists Rights Association, I think it's called. I'm spending too much time on that, but like, so now what does DC do? Now DC goes and does the exact same thing. Oh, it's only for 2 months, guys. Okay, great, but you're still doing it. Peter J. Tomasi is off of Detective Comics, and Mariko, I forget how to pronounce her name. It's Tasami, whatever, Tamaki. Mariko Tamaki is going to be on it. If you like her writing, that's awesome. I'm not here to bash any individual. I'm not here to bash anybody, but like as far as the writing is concerned, there's not a single thing that she has ever written that I have read that I have enjoyed even remotely. And she's being given Detective Comics. It, man, she better have had the best pitches on the face of the freaking planet. Oi, because yeah, that I see myself saving money on Detective Comics. And newsflash, I don't want to save money on Detective Comics. The biggest problem DC will always have is that it's the people who control the characters have no idea what to do with them, thus creating bad movies and comics. I hope that's not always going to be the case. It doesn't. I don't believe. I'm a firm believer. It doesn't take a Kevin Feige or Kevin Feige only. There could be a Kevin Feige, which is a fan who's intelligent, who's been in the business, who's seen people do it right and seen people do it wrong, and can differentiate between the two, and can just go out there and say, let's just put together a good movie. Like that's the way I look at it. I don't think that's such a hard thing to do, right? But it is what it is. Um, yeah, I'm hoping one of these days. I'm really hoping one of these days that we just get the amazing freaking shit. Like they just need to do what freaking Marvel did. Marvel didn't have their biggest characters. They didn't have the X-Men to go out there with, front and center. They had Iron Man, and they had John Favreau. That Favreau. Is there a Jason Favreau? There's Jason Bateman. I don't think it takes that much. But then again, maybe me saying that is just me with wishful thinking. I don't think it takes that much to just get an actual fan to put the stuff together. Still don't see a whole lot of Christmas lists in here, guys. Honestly, I've only known one person my entire life that actually likes Jar Jar Binks. I like Ahmed Best. That's the actor who plays Jar Jar Binks. Like I don't wish any ill will against him. I hope that he gets good jobs. I just hope that they're not jobs doing Jar Jar Binks. But when talking about Camly earlier, I was looking on through Camly and I was like, okay, there's all these Star Trek guys and they're charging way absorbing amounts of money. What about the Star Wars guys? And there's like the guy who plays Bib Fortuna is on there. By the way, that was actually him reprising his role, in case anybody didn't realize it. There's a bunch of people on there, and Ahmed Best is actually one of them. And I'm like, really, Ahmed? Okay, let's see what he's doing. I think he's charging like $100, whatever he's charging. I don't remember what he's charging. I think it's $100, but anyway, it's a lot less than the Star Trek guys are charging. Jeez. The Doctor's only charging 100, which is like that's noble. He's also in charge of the freaking space National Space Association, which is actually it's headed by and owned by Bill Nye, but he actually he's like the spokesperson for it. So Robert Ricardo, the guy who plays the Doctor on Voyager, Star Trek Voyager, yeah, he's not charging that much money because he doesn't need to, and he actually enjoys doing what he does. The Ahmed Best though, he gets on there and he's just talking and then I'm like, I enjoy hearing his regular voice, and I enjoy hearing him actually just talk about some stuff. And then all of a sudden, he goes and he freaking does the Binks voice, and I try to stay for it, and I'm just like, no, I can't do it. I had to cancel. So I don't know how it ended. I don't know how it ended. All right, got to skip ahead, guys. Sorry. Turns out there's a super chat. Oh, Cryptid. Hey, thanks, man. Have to go now, but if I don't get the chance, I wanted to wish you and everybody out here on Discord a Happy New Year. Well, Happy New Year to you also. See, I knew that. I know by your picture. When Captain America takes off its helmet, it's actually Deadpool. Well, brother, you deserve something. Let's see what I can find for you. I don't know if you're let's see what's in here. I'll tell you what. I'll give you this. I got the regular Quardian Sinestro. All right. Does he have his ring? Should have his, yeah, he's got a little tiny yellow ring there. Boom. He will sit there and he will do a little tap dance. Me and my shadow. I don't know the rest of the song. Thank you for the 20 cryptid. God bless and take care, dude. Put that there. Boom. I hope he didn't leave before that. Okay, let's go back up a little bit and see what's what. A question: who makes the better wingman, Kilowog or John Walker? Probably Kilowog. John Walker. Oh yeah, John Walker is. I just don't see it. I think Kilowog should. I can see Kilowog being smart enough to be somebody's wingman. John Walker, no. He's the wingman who tries to be, the A tier first actor. So has Tomar Ree really been dead since Crisis on Infinite Earths? I don't remember if it was Crisis on Infinite Earths, but he did die quite a while ago, and to me, it was sad. It was almost off panel on the freaking book. Matthew Salavaria, which writer do you like most doing Green Lantern besides Johns? For me, it's Ron Mars and his Kyle Green Lantern run. That's a really good pick. Mars is incredible. Mars is cool as hell. Mars actually, he got in contact with me privately when I did my, it's funny, ever since that little, I imagine it was a fake ass thing, the EVS thing earlier. I did my take on Comicsgate. It was a long time ago, and I feel worse about Comicsgate today than I did back then. And I didn't really feel that bad about them back then. Go figure. It was just, I was like, it's too much immaturity, too much shock jock nonsense, But I remember Mars actually got in contact with me. He's like, that was a really mature take on a really sensitive subject, in comic books. And I appreciate that. And if I'm ever, up by your area, first round's on me. I'm like, Ron Mars wants to buy me a drink? Fuck yeah. It is a much lengthier email, but still, that was actually really cool. So sorry, that just brought me back to that. But yes, Mars's run was amazing. I'm trying to remember who the hell it was. I'm gonna laugh at it, but the run when Hal Jordan actually did get the gray streaks in his hair and whatnot. That was actually a really good run. You got to go with the original. I don't know. There really haven't been too many great Green Lantern runs, right? But the most recent, not the most recent one, because that's all oh my god, my mind's everywhere. Morrison, it's Grant Morrison, and I really just didn't like. I tried so hard. Like, you ever try to like a comic book because you kind of like Grant Morrison has such a history of doing amazing things that you don't realize how great it was until after it's over. And I tried to do that with the Green Lantern run, but then like they switched and they went to the Dark Stars one, then they went back to the Green Lantern. I'm like, I'm not following this crap. Like, they were already doing the Dark Stars the whole time. Like, what did he go to a Dark Star comic book? He already pretended to be a Dark Star. Now he pretends to be a Dark Star again. What is this? It was just too much. I'm like, I'm out. Sorry, I'm out. But before that, what the hell? What the hell's his name? He was just doing Hawkman. Robert or Roberts. Anyway, the guy who was just doing Hawkman, he's going to be doing. He's doing Justice League. He started doing Justice League now. But anyway, yeah, him. Sad news: AEW just confirmed Brody Lee has passed away. The fuck? Muhammad, what are you talking about? You gonna make me look this crap up now? Hold on, can I see it over here? Holy crap! For real? Yeah, it's on Twitter. People talking about this. Yo, what? Hold on, what's going on? Brody Lee was an unbelievably talented guy who wished he had a better chance to know him. Participating in a charity stream. Oh, yeah, real name John Huber. Wow, that is really sad. If anybody's not familiar, he was one of the Bludgeon brothers. Which one was he? The Ronan Harper. He was Harper, right? Anyway, I can't remember which one he was, but under Bray Wyatt. Wow, that's freaking sad. That sucks, dude. Yeah, out of nowhere and totally unexpected. He, wow. You know, it's funny because I remember saying he got really skinny. You know what I'm saying? He used to be this huge powerhouse and he just got, and like, he always had his shirt on. But like, you see some old pics of him back in the day, the dude had a ripped set of abs, which is wild because guys that big don't usually have a ripped set of abs. Like, I say this is, I'm not a power lifter anymore by any stretch of the imagination, but like, I've actually got a post power lifter's body at this point. Um, Dude, power lifters always have a massive core, and it is not ripped because that comes from starvation and in many ways dehydration. Also, that's where that comes from. You can not lift weights and just not eat, and then you'll have a ripped, abs and whatnot. But this guy was just like a genetic freak. At least in the abs, I just remember always thinking that about this guy. How is this guy that big? But he's got, the 6-pack, the 8-pack like that. He had a 24-pack with 6 on layaway. Like, the dude was huge, And then when he came back as the Bludgeon Brothers, he just looked smaller. He went to AEW and he just looked emaciated. He just looked so thin, so small. I'm like, what the hell, dude? Wow. Now the guy passed away. That's, damn, rest in peace, dude. So I get some good news out of Future State, considering they're doing a TV show about that Future State Wonder Woman. Yes, probably be a new Wonder Girl when things go back. See, I'd be cool with that. I'd be totally cool with that. Yeah, I don't think she's the best choice. Her writing style has been a lovely slice of life feel to it. Batman to me doesn't fit her. Did you like anything that Mariko? I remember this was from the Mariko Tamaki thing. Do you remember anything that you did like from her, Suan? It sounds like you did. Who knows? Might seem like people weren't into Batman Beyond at first. Batman Beyond and Batman the Animated Series are finally coming to HBO Max. You'd figure that's one of those things like that. That should have been a staple from the beginning, right? Morons. It just shows these guys really don't know what the hell they're doing. They're in such disarray right now. It's insanity. But whatever. They're finally coming to HBO Max. So yay. Now, it'd be nice if HBO Max actually came to Canada or any place other than just the US, right? Large audience. They don't care. Do you feel that crossovers in comics is needed today? Crossovers how? With the same, like within Marvel, the same characters, and in DC, the same characters crossing over with each other? It's fun when those happen. As far as like Marvel and DC or Marvel and IDW and DC and freaking F all whoever, I think that they can be a lot of fun, like help get the popularity that the whole purpose for the whole purpose from back in the day was that we were all reading all of the books anyway. When Teen Titans crossed over with X-Men, it was like an amazing deal. You know why? Because everybody who was a comic book fan was reading Teen Titans, and everybody who was a comic book fan was reading X-Men. So we were already reading those books. So it's like, this is great. They get to cross over with each other, right? Batman and the Hulk, it was a dumb crossover, but it was the idea. It was like we were already reading those books. Superman and Spider-Man, the original crossover, we were already reading those books. Even when DC, in my opinion, very illegally stole the character of Captain Marvel, nowadays known as Shazam, when that first showed up, that was a big deal. Like, holy crap, how did this happen? It's one of those things, it's one of those things. So, but like when you see the Shadow and the Batman crossover, or the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles and Batman, or pretty much anybody with Batman, it's cool because it's this lesser property that is majorly benefiting from the immense popularity of this bigger character. And that's always helpful. It's always helpful. Let me get towards the bottom of these comments really quick so I could start showing. I could just finish up this box. I'm actually only halfway through. Seen the show called Vikings? No, I haven't watched it, but yeah, I do know it is supposed to be really good. Raven, hey, I didn't see you pop in. What's going on, Raven? How you doing, brother? Accordion Sinestro, cool. No. Quard. The realm of Quard. Ash Williams versus Deceased. Oh, it's got to be Ash. It's got to be Ash. This is my boomstick. Venditti, thank you, Cult Film Video. Robert Venditti. Why couldn't I freaking remember that name? Shows you how far back I am with this stuff. Luke Harper. Was Luke Harper. Thank you. I thought you would pick Green Lantern and Green Arrow. Series writer is your favorite Green Lantern writer outside of John's? That was a really wild and crazy one. While it was really good, and it definitely brought a lot of politics. Never used to be in comics before. When people say this, I'm like, okay, done. Thank you. You're not a comic books fan. Like, don't tell me you're a comic book fan when you make such an obviously wrong statement like that. You know what I'm saying? But anyway, is what it is. Holy crap, Richard Pace is here. What's going on, Rich? What is this? Superhero books are strangling themselves, chasing events like that, though. What's going on, dude? Chasing event. Oh, yeah, I'm not a fan of the events either. What, did somebody say something about events? See, I'm okay with events. What I'm not okay with are the thousands of events that keep on showing up. Again, like Snyder, just drawing. That's pretty much, I feel like that's almost all that you do. But every time that you post something on Twitter, I see it on Facebook too. Every time that I see something that you throw up on there, it's just, dude, Richard Pace, man. I don't know how this guy isn't in more comic books. Remember how I freaked out over that variant cover that he did for Hawkman? What was that, issue number 18? I think it was. Amazing. But what do you call it? HBO Max has to wait for their pre-existing contracts to run out before they can put things on their. Well, I know. Yeah, I know they do. Unfortunately, a lot of those contracts are actually with the DC streaming service. That's the crazy thing to see. These crazy contracts they do with each other. Think about this. Think about the idea. Like, they obviously don't care about contracts, even within themselves. Think about this. Season 2 of the Green Arrow TV series on the CW was one of the most amazing television comic book character brought to life series that has ever been in existence. Season 1 was incredible, but season 2 was like, holy crap, what are you doing to us? They brought in the Suicide Squad, bruh. They brought in the Suicide Squad. It was good. They were like teasing us with a Harley Quinn laugh in the background. You remember all this, like all the speculation that they were doing with us? And it was like sucking people in. You know why season 3 sucked? Because all of a sudden they start doing the freaking Justice League stuff, and Scott Snyder's there doing his thing. And then Jason Ayers is going to be doing his Suicide Squad movie like years down the road, actually like 2 years down the road. But the point is, they wanted to get Batman and all these other characters out of the way, like including the Suicide Squad, because they're making the Suicide Squad movie. Viewers might be confused. Stop treating us like we're stupid. How about that? Because the people we think are stupid are the morons who can't get continuity right. It is the interview I just did with Carla Pacheco. Pacheco, she corrected me on her name. She did it in a very Canadian way, and she's not even Canadian, which is like magnificent. That Carla Pacheco or Pachito, that is actually a valid response. Also, she said it herself. She was like, "Yeah, continuity, it's awesome." Boom, 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 boom. And she's like, "But continuity kills." Continuity kills. I'm like, yeah, it can, but look at how she did it. While she's saying continuity kills, she's still hitting it out the freaking park. And she's like, yeah, and she's saying all these things about continuity and checking up with other writers and seeing and checking with with everybody there. What can we do? What can we do? You're like, can I use this character? Well, this character's currently okay. Then I don't want to use that character. But then meanwhile, like behind her breath, she's saying, but continuity kills. Yeah. No, I don't want to. It's cute. It's cute that you're saying that, but she gets it. She gets comic books. Dude, she gets comic books on that like primordial level that most people today just don't. So that's the thing about it. When they sit there and they think they treat us like, well, we don't want the viewers to get confused. No, bro, you're the one who's confused. We just want to see good TV shows. We want to read good comic books. We want to see great art. We just want our superheroes, you know what I'm saying? And that's the thing about it that kills me. It's like none of the people alive, for the most part, created these characters, yet they get control over these characters because they found ways in courts to make it so they don't go to public domain. How is Superman and Batman not in public domain? Because you're supposed to have 50 years of it. I know legally how it does, but the point is, case in point, I've done this before. It's the reason why they keep on changing the logo on Superman's chest and the bat symbol on Superman on Batman's chest and whatnot. They keep on changing those things every so often. So this way, that's what they're copywriting. So that technically, you could theoretically use the Superman logo from way back in the day. You know what I'm saying? But if you do, we're going to sue you because we're DC Comics. That's who we are. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, it is what it is, man. It is what it is. It crushes me that these guys think that we're dumb. They're afraid that we're dumb. No, dude, we're awake. We see what's going on. This is a hobby for us. You know what I'm saying? This is a hobby, and this is your profession. You think that we're the dumb ones? Superman was political from the word go. He was political from the word up, and away. Power to the people. What's going on, man? How you doing? Raven, politics has been in comics since Superman bashed slumlords in the golden age. Damn straight. He said that from down under, he did. Matthew, yeah, the GLGA series was political. Everyone labeled SJW editorial mandate garbage. It came out today, right? Right? What was it? There was only like 18 issues of that or so, right? And yet, look how impactful it was. Look how impactful it was. Dude, I'm saying, incredible stuff. So let's pull out some more things because I don't want to be here all day. My man's went and sent me a freebie, and I always love getting a freebie on occasion. It's kind of broken. I always notice the problems. What do you call it? It's got the wing clip and it's actually stuck out. I'm sure I could fix that by actually X-Acto knife cutting it right down there. You know me, I got plenty of blades. But anyway, if I could fix that and make the arm go back in. But the idea is, they always have the big shoulders there. But this is a rare variant. He actually sent me a rare variant, and that's not a smudge mark up there. That's actually his hair coming through Danny Rand's hair. This is Iron Fist. Danny Rand's hair just, you know what I'm saying? Like, because it's a little bit battle damaged. But anyway, this is an awesome figure. And this is from the Toy Biz days where so he can actually make kind of a fist, but it looks more like a G.I. Joe Kung Fu grip. But he can also open, but the fingers are still down. Like, why did they think that was a good thing? Don't do that. This hand that looks good when it's chopping, but then what's this supposed to be? It's like, how many fingers am I holding up? 4. Like, what are you doing there? I guess you could do the Neo and Morpheus, come here. You know what? I'll probably do that when I start putting together my stop motions. Oh, I almost had big news on my stop motions, guys. Almost had big news on my stop motions, but it's not verified yet. Just all right, patience. In the 80s, what'd you like most? Arnold and Stallone action movies, Star Wars, Marvel and DC, wrestling, or sports? Nope, sorry, I don't have to make that decision, so I won't. I absolutely will not. Or sports. I'll take sports out of it because I liked watching baseball. I know. I was an 80s kid. I liked watching baseball, and then I would immediately go out and play baseball with all my friends. That was back in the days when you went outside to play, and we had Nintendo and Sega. We had those things, right? I remember the one Christmas I got the Nintendo Turbo controller where you just, instead of having to with your thumbs, you could just hold it down and it would turbo like automatically. It was the greatest invention known to man. Greatest invention ever. But we would always go outside. We would actually go to the baseball diamond and we would play. And how many places actually have a baseball diamond anymore, right? And I always picked Don Mattingly because fight me. Even after he stopped playing, I was still doing that. I hate Bendis brought back Black Adam into Justice League. Oh, spoiler. Wow. Whatever. I don't know. Maybe it'll be good. I don't know. But yeah, I did stop reading Bendis' work. The Bendis speak, it hurts. Hurts sometimes. But you know what? I'm hoping to get back into him. The idea that I'm pretty sure he was taken off of Superman. And if that is the case, then hopefully it made him recognize, like, that's the thing that kills me. When I told you I just had that conversation with somebody recently, like, big name, and I don't want to spoil anything because he said some fairly negative things, but the point is him saying things like what do you call it? He said the same things that Bendis says, like, oh, half the reviewers like what I'm doing, half the reviewers don't like what I'm doing. But it's also poisoned. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm doing immigration refugee consultation. Well, I'm doing the studies for it right now. And we have this thing called a poisoned letter, meaning that somebody back home might send a fake evil letter saying that you're bad or, don't let them into the country because they don't want you to actually work overseas. That happens sometimes. So it's called a poisoned letter in the business. So DC actually poisons the pot in this particular. It's an Egyptian saying. They put the poison in the honey. If you're going to try and assassinate someone in ancient Egyptian idioms, you don't put the poison in the tea because there's always the checker who's going to taste test the tea, and it's like they poisoned the tea. No, you poison the honey because everybody puts honey in the tea. You get it? So it's subterfuge. That's what they're trying to indicate in that idiom. Anyway, so in this particular case, DC sends out books to some people, but then they also hit you hard with, hey, I noticed that you haven't given any 10s. How come you don't give 10s? It's like, well, we don't think that, books deserve 10. Well, why is there a number 10? Well, we don't do 1s either. Okay, but why is there a number 10 if you don't use the number 10? I don't know. Maybe one day we'll use it if a 10 comes along, but until then we haven't seen a 10. That's happened. And like, enough of us YouTubers talk to each other. It's not just the YouTubers, it's the sites also, the websites also. Like, we talk to each other. You know what I'm saying? And when they go and they say nonsense like this, it's like, dude, You're handing somebody a load of free comic books and then telling them how to rate things. Oh, you've been giving us too many fives. No, you've been writing fives. That's what it is. People like me, I stopped doing letter grades and number grades and stuff like that because I just figure it's just too much. You know what I'm saying? Like that people get, well, you gave this one and this and this one. Okay, I just say what I liked and what I didn't like. I don't think anything needs a number grade. I did the letter grades because it's university. You get an A, B, C or whatever, right? I stopped doing all those things because like I'm not trying to hurt anybody's feelings or anything, you know? When I see that like I might not just myself, but a lot of people are actually not doing comic book reviews anymore for certain books, and the most recent reviews that they've done are negative, it shows me that they're good people. You know what I'm saying? Now you got the Comicsgate crew that they go out of their way to look for bad books to review because or books that they don't like so they could indoctrinate and educate on what an SJW proper is. But yeah, like it's just shock for them, which is cute, but but in reality, you don't pay attention to those groups, right? And nobody would. Nobody would. But then you got groups like not just me, lots of other reviewers online or YouTube online, so print or online, where we just stop reviewing a book that we just don't like because we just don't like the book, you know. And DC doesn't send me their books. I buy my books. There are companies that do send me their books, and I review them honestly. And I tell them I'm going to do an honest review. I'm not into doing, whatever. I'm not into, like, oh, you're sending me books, so I'm going to say nice things. I want you to keep sending me books. That's not who I am. I don't do an audience of one. You know what I'm saying? It's not going to happen. Um, I don't do this for money. You guys know this. I don't do this for the money. I have a really good job. I got a really good career in the future. I do this because I enjoy my comic books. And if I stop reviewing a comic book, it's because I feel like I haven't liked it for a long time. And I am starting to think that the writer or the artist or whatever just isn't doing a good job. And I don't want to say anything negative towards these guys. So I just stop reviewing the book. And I think that that should be counted as well as someone saying they don't like the book instead of just, well, there are 50 at the time for this one particular book that this person's doing. The best-selling book at DC. That was probably too much to say, but anyway, best-selling book at DC. Yeah, and outselling a whole bunch of other things. It's like, look, all these reviewers liked it. There were literally only 15 reviewers reviewing the comic book. Are there only 15 reviewers out there? There's more than 15 just online sites. There's way more YouTube reviewers. You know what I'm saying? We're a dime a dozen. You know what I'm saying? These other guys, the corporate ones, they're always giving good reviews for these books. Is it because they want that access? This is no different than politicians coming up and saying, yes, the Republicans are always going to go on Fox and the Democrats are always going to go on, MSNBC or CNN. Why? Because you're our guys and you're going to give us good interviews. And if you give us too many hardballs, I'm going to remove my access. I'm going to remove access to me. You're not going to have access to me. I'm going to go and talk to somebody else and not you anymore. So you have to give me good questions. This is the nonsense that constantly happens. And this is a way to force someone to give you a good interview. And that's like, I have a little bit, not a lot more, but I have a little bit more integrity than that. So I didn't bother saying anything to the guy. I just kind of let it go. I'm just like, okay, cool. You know what I'm saying? You win. Because this isn't a fight that I feel like getting into. This is an argument that I need, so like, it's a delusional world that the guy's living in, but it is what it is. Richard, extended continuity kills. Batman had his back broken when? A generation ago? Hanging on to that continuity to that degree is toxic. You're not wrong. Continuity, see, that's the thing though. You're taking Batman. You know what I'm saying? I don't know. To me, like the idea that the continuity that I look at that with is he had his back broken. Okay, we're over. It's done with. Bye. You know, like, but where that continuity actually matters is with Bane. And they say it. show me a comic book. Anybody's feel free to show me a comic book where Bane doesn't show up. It's like, oh, the main bad guy of this comic book is Bane. It sounded like freaking Stephanie McMahon introducing Kane. You're gonna have to fight Kane. No, instead put Bane in there instead, right? And what do they always say? I broke your damn back. Tom King was big on that. Wow, he went excessive with that. I'm going to break your damn back, King. Well, actually, it was Catwoman who broke his back twice with one kick and knocked out 3 flashes in the same breath with a kick each. One shot all 3 of them. Oh my God, he should be writing Catwoman books. But the point is, technically he is halfway doing that now. But the point is, like, Bane broke Batman's back. The only real claim to fame that Bane has is that he broke Batman's back. If we remove that specific continuity from it, who the fuck is Bane? He's nobody at this point. I kind of like the idea of Bane. But then when you consistently punk him out afterward, that's the thing that kills me. That's the continuity that we have to maintain. If a character's a badass, you don't turn them into a joke afterwards. Where Batwoman can just and this is not me trying to bash Tom King, because it's more than just Tom King doing this. When did we first hear about Doomsday? Because Doomsday is probably the biggest one. Doomsday is the guy who killed Superman. Sure. Superman died at least twice beforehand. Nobody remembers those. I can't even remember specifically what those particular instances were with Superman when he was killed, right? Or when he died. But in this particular one, he got beat to death. Never seen that before. Darkseid couldn't do that. Superman Doomsday, Hunter Prey, 2 backslashes in that particular thing, plus a colon. That was also badass. But I have yet to see another time in history since those 2 events where Doomsday has been a credible threat. He's been cloned. He gets murdered. He gets killed. He's the end credit, or not. He's practically the end credit villain in Batman vs Superman. He shows up. He beats up Wonder Woman. Then he gets chumped out immediately. There's the big thing like the Doomsday thing. Doomsday with Superman Doomsday. Oh, Doomsday's coming. The Doomsday you fought in a different reality was just a pupa. It was just a little tiny thing. There's no one. It's a fully formed. It's super powerful. And I'm making fun of it because it's like, that should have been amazing. That should have been like, holy crap, we're going to get the ultimate version of Doomsday. How does Superman beat him? He shows up, rips him in half. And it was just a plot so that he could eventually, oops, I accidentally absorbed some of the Doomsday gas, which would be very similar to the Batman who laughs, so Joker's got the gas in his heart. Are we seeing? There's the continuity. Taking bad ideas and moving them forward. Batman who laughs is a really freaking great character concept, but like, that's the way you do it. Not this thing where the Superman Doomsday, like they actually made a figure of the character. And granted, I own the figure because I really wanted to build Lobo, but the point is, bruh, like, when has Doomsday actually been a threat? The whole Doomsday is the biggest threat ever to show up. Like, this version is, oh my God, was just to set up a big fight against Brainiac, and Superman had to become Doomsday essentially to beat him. Like, that's just what a way to make him a freaking side-scrolling character. It's just like, that's not even a boss fight. That was like the guy you beat before you get to the boss fight. So, like, this is the continuity that I'm talking about. Maintain the idea that somebody's a straight badass if they're a badass. Maintain the idea that somebody's kind of a joke if that's the case. Because things can change when they're early. I didn't like Fabian, I think his name is supposed to be pronounced Nicieza? Anyway, whatever. He doesn't like me in the first place, so whatever. He can grow up. But the idea is that, like, when he first introduced Doomsday, Deadpool, it's just like, oh, I think that he's a ripoff of Slade Wilson, so I'm just going to call him Wade Wilson. That's cute and all. But, oh, look at what happens when somebody actually does something amazing with the character. And when people came along afterwards and they made him a funny, tragically funny character, holy crap, he's one of the biggest characters. And Cryptid left, so he's probably like hating that he's missing this conversation. But the point is, like you can change things. You could retcon things. Retcons are a perfectly valid source of, comic book entertainment. But for me, I feel that no, continuity can kill, but continuity doesn't by nature kill. Continuity is the only reason. Hear me out. The sole, only, one and only reason why franchises exist in the first place. Who in the hell wants to see a new Star Wars series where they just wipe out all the old continuity? They're like, hey, so in your show, how far is this from Captain Kirk? Oh, no, there's no Captain Kirk in this version of Star Wars. No, or Star Trek. No. But I mean, like, this is in the future of that, right? Well, it's hard to say because there was never a Captain Kirk in this universe. Never a Captain Kirk in this universe? What about a Picard? No. Spock? No. Not even Spock? Bro, it's not Star Trek anymore. So like there's 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 the extremes. Like I said, like I always say, a light switch. There's on, there's off. Me personally, I prefer dimmers. I prefer dimmer switches. I like shades of gray. So no, continuity can kill. Extended continuity, 100%. Yes, continuity, extended continuity can absolutely kill. But it just takes that extra level of being a fan and being an employee of this big company, saying, and yeah, just, I don't know, that's just the way I look at it. I feel that there's absolutely no reason to have these characters in a franchise with all these other characters interacting with each other, still called the same thing, still looking essentially like they always looked like, but they don't maintain continuity in some way, shape, or form or another. I mean, it is like soap operas have existed for a long time. How long has General Hospital and All My Children and all those shows been online or been, available, right? And they make probably the only form of medium that does things, franchises faster than comic books, because movies don't go as fast as comic books do. Once a month, a new comic book, a new story every single month. What? TV shows don't even do that. TV shows take off for seasons. You know what I'm saying? Wrestling goes every week, and that's new, supposedly new stuff every so often. But like 5 days a week, that's a soap opera. 5 days a week, and yet they are still able to maintain continuity, extended continuity at that. And they've changed actors plenty of times because old actors have died on set. In some occasions, people retire, and it's like, but they still maintain the continuity some way, somehow. So somebody's been watching since forever and goes back to soap channel that exists, whatever that's called, the soap opera network, I think it's called in America. They actually have that thing. People go back and they watch these old episodes, and yet it still maintains, and that's more often than that. So no, I do believe that you can still have continuity. You need to change some things. I get it because there's new writers all the time, but that's not different from wrestling or from soap operas. And I don't have a bad feeling towards soap operas. Too much on that. Let me show some toys. Damn it. Let me show some toys. Okay. I'm going to save this for last. But here, I still have another Yellow Lantern guy. Because the ultimate character who should be a Yellow Lantern is, of course, Crane. You know what I'm saying? Scarecrow should absolutely be a Yellow Lantern. So, boom, I'm actually showing another guy behind it. So I might as well show him now. I forgot he was in my hand. Thurf, Robot Man. I got Robot Man. So I'm going to have to take Cliff here and have to manufacture a leather jacket for him and some pants. I actually have a pair of jeans for him. So I'm going to have to put those on him. And cause I want him to look like the DC's version, the TV show, Doom Patrol, the Doom Patrol TV show. I wanted to look like that. Let me show one more. I've actually got two more DC characters to pull out really quick before I move on. This one right here is going to make for some great stop motion storytelling. This is actually a fairly rare figure. I admit to paying $50 Canadian for this guy. I don't like paying that much for a character, but this is old school. They actually made a white variant, which is easier to get and usually a little bit cheaper. The variant is somehow easier, but it's all white. There's also the all white variant that came out for, so it's not a true variant. It came out for the Arkham Asylum series. that one's actually cheaper than this one typically is. And this is from back in the DC Collect and Connect days, the DC Universe stuff. So this is an absolutely amazing figure. Ever since James Tynion's uh, Justice League Dark run, like this is such an amazingly great, tragic character. I think that anybody who's read that series can big time relate to how amazing this character is. The jaw does not move. Again, this is from like 2008. This is old school. Oh, what the frig? Swan! Swan! What is, oh shoot, I can't, crap, I hate the idea of losing all that, but I've been talking for way too long about some stuff. Okay. Thank you for the super chat, Suan. Soap operas, like comics, are stronger because of our or their continuity. Also, remember, subscribe, and She-Hulk, smash that like button, students. Thank you. Much appreciated. You know what? Talking about tragic characters. Okay, let me see. How does Bohemian Rhapsody go? I'm just a poor boy. Everybody knows that one. Oh, damn it. Mama just killed a man, put a gun against his head, pull the trigger, now he's dead. Mother, ooh, I don't want to die. I sometimes wish I'd never been born at all. Can you imagine saying that to your mom? I wish I'd never been born at all. Freddie Mercury was a son of a gun, man. Anyway, thank you, Suan. Okay, let me go back up a little bit. Let me try and shoot through some of these things. I'm right back on a face. Batman Who Laughs is equal to or greater than Doomsday. Nowadays, yes, he absolutely is. Batman Who Laughs is really fun to draw. I'd imagine he really has to be. Like, wow. Surprised Wonder Woman didn't have a Death of Superman or Nightfall type event. You know what's so funny? Okay, listen, guys, if you guys go to comicbookuni.com, couldn't get the comicbookuniversity.com, whatever, it's just too long. Comicbookuni.com is, you'll see this thing on there called Heroes Collide. We are totally biting off of the Collider Heroes stuff. We've been recording me and Dark Knight Nation and Comic Boom. We've been quietly once a week doing a podcast talking about like certain subjects, and they're evergreen subjects too. So we'll talk a little bit about, we'll like do a whole episode just talking about Jack Kirby. We'll do an episode talking about the Scarlet Witch. Actually, that's the one we just got finished recording last Monday. We'll do an episode where we talk about Wonder Woman. Excuse me, nothing to do with the movie because whatever. Like it's an evergreen subject. We'll talk about something that you can listen to at any moment. It's not current. Like the podcast that I put out at 5:00 in the morning, the Comic Book University podcast, that's pop culture. That's a weekly thing. That's you don't pay attention, or you haven't been paying attention to the latest in comic book or pop culture, phenomena, news and whatnot. Boom, one-stop shop, about an hour long. Me and my wife just hanging out talking about stuff, right? However, this one is just evergreen topics where we can just shoot the crap about things. And we did one about Wonder Woman. And one of the things was that she hasn't had a Dark Knight Returns type event, a whatever happened to the Man of Tomorrow event. You know what I'm saying? She hasn't had any great moments like that. The closest we could argue is the Hikacia, saying, which was an incredible comic. That was the one where you see Wonder Woman's boot on Batman's head. Like that's the closest that we've had to an incredible Wonder Woman story. When you really break it down and think about it, how many people could even think about the Hikacia? And I can think about a bunch of others. Wonder Woman Truth, which incredible art. Holy crap, incredible art. Alex Ross, you know what I'm saying? One of the fairly few times he's ever done the interiors of a comic book. But for the most part, it just wasn't great. You know what I'm saying? Like all the respect in the world, man, but it wasn't that great. And most of the events or graphic novels that Wonder Woman has, or even the runs, even the George Perez run, right? Like how great was that really? Gods and Monsters. There was some good stuff, but I mean, like if somebody really wanted to make their mark, and we can remember some good runs, the Rucker run. I always loved the Gail Simone run. You know what I'm saying? I think that if anybody really wanted to break their teeth in the, cut their teeth, I should say, not break them. Breaking is bad. Cutting is good. Cut your teeth in the industry. You could do worse than making a memorable event or, God forbid, a run on Wonder Woman. I mean, for the love of God, like that would make you. That would make someone. Boom. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, I'd oh God, I wouldn't kill, but I'd almost kill. I would almost kill for a great Wonder Woman event like that. But yeah, Mark Guerrero, you hit on a freaking amazing point with Wonder Woman. Yes, that we've addressed. And anyway, that podcast is not available right now. I want to have like a whole bunch on the burner, or I have a bunch on the burner. We have a bunch on the burner, but I want a whole bunch in queue before I actually put the podcast out, because it's three of us. If one of us isn't feeling good emotionally or physically, whatever, if somebody's just like, you're busy, oh my God, last minute, oh I forgot, all sorts of things can happen. You know what I'm saying? So just, if like with three people on it, that's too much. It's too high a probability that somebody's gonna flake out. You know what I'm saying? So myself included. So one person just has a bad day. The podcast, we have a problem with it, whatever. Like too many variables. So I want to put like at least 10 on the back burner, on the the back burner, whatever. So that keep them warm, But yeah. And until I have those, I'm not going to be releasing any of those. But when it's ready, we will release them, and they could very well be epic. We have some really good conversations about some really great comics. Yeah. Anyway, we're actually trying to do more of them right now. We're planning on doing 3 of them between Sunday and Monday. Try and meet up 3 times in those 2 days to try and just knock out another 3, because we really are excited about putting these out. But yeah, and it's just 3 guys who freaking love comic books and different eras, right? Comic Boom is a couple years older than me. He's got like what, a decade on me, something like that. And me, I'm 45, and then you got Trevor from Dark Knight Nation. I think he's like 24, 23 or 24, something like that. So basically 3 different generations of people, comic book fans, and we're talking about it. We make fun of each other every so often. We wouldn't be good friends if that wasn't the case. DC is doing a Joker ongoing. Can't say I like this idea. Yeah, agreed. When I saw it, and what else you say? DC has itself revealed it, so I'm not spoiling it. Wonder Woman is Spectre now in the DC universe. In the future state, maybe. That's not a permanent thing. I don't imagine that's a permanent thing. God, if they just went the Hal Jordan route with that, right? First he's Hal Jordan, then he's Parallax. First he's test pilot, then he's Green Lantern, then he's Parallax, then he's the first Green Lantern, even though Alan Scott existed before him. It's too much, man. Too much. It's too much. But the first thing you're saying, a Joker ongoing, that's the thing. It's like that Women of Marvel podcast that they did that one time that actually got me angry. I like, I'll get emotional, but anger is not usually an emotion that I choose to feel. You know what I'm saying? And anger is a choice, It's not an emotion I choose to feel when I'm talking about comic books. Usually if I see like I want to be angry at this, it's time to just stop reading this comic book, man. Because like I don't need that, man. Anger is a punishment that you inflict upon yourself for someone else's wrongdoing. You get it? So I'm not like, that's not who I am. I don't like doing stuff like that. But I actually did start to get a little bit angry, and I had to just step away, and I decided that I'm not going to read, and I'm not going to name their names. I did it once before, and maybe I should have. It was important to name it when I named it at the time, but now there's no need in rehashing those. But these particular women who were saying that they cannot identify with the heroes of the stories that they're writing. They identify more with the villains. then you shouldn't be. And there was a whole lot more to it, but in my humble opinion, then you shouldn't be writing heroes in comics. And it breaks my heart. Like, I get that the Joker movie, there's a lot of people who liked it. Okay, it is what it is, man. It is what it is. But at the end of the day, you made a movie about the villain. And that's not what we need. Dude, think about what Stephen King said. Why did he praise the Harry Potter books? Regardless of, I don't know the turf thing or whatever with J.K. Rowling and whatnot, but I mean, if you have got this character that brings Stephen King to tears, Stephen King, the master of horror, and he says the best character written nowadays that actually represents goodness. At the time, this was an article I read also in 2008, right before I left for Saudi Arabia and the Middle East in general, but it was Saudi Arabia first. What do you call it? He said Harry Potter. That's the one. It's like, wow, man. Wow. When you've got a world full of Punishers, where people say, oh, Captain America and Superman aren't realistic, the Punisher and Batman are. What happened to society? What happened to comic books? What happened to this medium that I grew up on? You know, what happened to all this? That we're falling into hero worship of the bad guys. Punisher's a cool ass character, but he's got his place. Wolverine is a cool ass character. Batman too. But do we not realize that these are characters that all have head trauma? I mean, that's what's so important to understand about these characters. They're not the heroes. They're not. Wolverine's not a hero over Colossus. Punisher isn't a hero over Captain America. Batman is not a hero over Superman. That's not the way that this works. Sure, you got Frank Miller who came up and said, let's dial these two to their exact opposite extremes. Sure, I get it. That was a one-off. 4 issues, one-off, you know? But like, that's not what comic books were made for. Superman was originally designed as a villain, as a Lex Luthor, super telepathic, brainiac Lex Luthor type villain. And in the comics, they're like, no, we can't use that. Change him up a little bit. So Schuster and Siegel changed him into the Superman that we know of today, for the most part. And look what happened. That's the one that took. Watch it, Box. That's the one who took. If you don't recognize here, and if you can't identify with heroes, you're in the wrong business. Go write episodes for like the Robot Show or the Black Mirror Show. You know, say write for things like that. Bring back Twilight Zone. Bring back Dark Shadows or The Outer Limits. Those were great shows, but those focused on the evil. Comic books aren't supposed to do that. That's not what it's for. And it shows because these are comic books that just don't sell. These are books that don't really sell. I'm not saying Batman and Wolverine, and that's not what I'm saying. What I am saying is these are the books, like these are the really memorable ones are the ones where something tragic happens to Batman again. And I'm going to use Batman specifically because how many great Wolverine arcs do we remember? How many great Punisher arcs do we remember? How many great Punisher runs do we remember? You know, right? Moon Knight, another guy with some serious head trauma. How many great runs do we have? Oh, there's the Ellis run. Great. What happened in the run? You remember the scene where he goes up in the apartment and systematically beats up everybody, right? There's not a whole lot else that we really remember from these runs. Why? Because it's temporary crap. But you remember Man of Tomorrow, don't you? You remember whatever happened to the Man of Tomorrow. You remember All-Star Superman. You remember these great stories. You remember the redemption arc with Brubaker, Captain America and the Winter Soldier. You remember those arcs that were amazing. Unfortunately, remember Hail Hydra also. But that's I don't fully blame Nick Spencer for that because he received a lot of hate over that. He's the guy who usually likes to, you know, fix things at the end and make them, hey! And so he just literally is like, too much hate, death mail, whatever, I'm out, bye. I'm surprised he's even doing comics to this day. Such a such a good person, like in person to meet, such a good person to meet. He's not the kind of person to try and wreck Captain America for us. You know what I'm saying? And again, that's just people being goofy. But man, like here, let's bring it back to the characters really quick. Despero. And this is my favorite version of Despero. There's the DC Collect and Connect from the DC DC Universe DC Multiverse Classics, DC Universe Classics. There we go. DC Universe Classics before the DC Multiverse characters. And he's in full armor. He's got his 2 guns and everything like that. And I actually used to have that one, but when I was ready to buy a new one, I wanted this one. I just like this one so much better. Like this is the one that went up against Hawkman, the Death of Hawkman comic book. Hawkman, and he's from Ran, the Ran Thanagar Wars. Why do I not remember his name? Tom King is writing a series with him right now. Strange Adventures. Adam Strange. There we go. 6 Degrees of Kevin Bacon. So he should be played by Kevin Bacon. I think that he'd be a great role for the character after he does his cameo in Guardians of the Galaxy 3, which damn well better happen. Anyway, I love this version of Despero, just like mean as hell, like cape because I'm an emperor, but like it's a torn, shred up cape and whatnot. He's just this big B-style brute who can also mind control you and psionic blast you. Love it, love it, love it, love it. I've only got 4 characters left to show you. I never got the Venom with Spider-Ham, but I did want the Spider-Ham Venom Ham head to go on top of my Monster Venom that I used to have right behind me. No, not this one. Different one. That's a Toy Biz one from 1995. Yeah, bang. So I got that. Anyway, so I got 4 characters left to show you, but I kind of have to show you them all at the same time. Let's. I said I wasn't going to get too much into these. You guys are giving really good ones today, and not telling me what you got for Christmas. Damn it. Star Trek eventually run into the issue because how big their TV franchise is. They've run into the issues because it's CBS that owns them and Paramount that owns them. It's 2 different companies, and they had to change. That's called the Kelvin universe. We call that Abrams universe. Ever since J.J. Abrams did that Star Trek movie, which I loved, by the way, I know a lot of people didn't. That was through Paramount, and CBS had the original rights. So, or am I reversing that anyway? So they were like, oh, you can use the Star Wars or Star Trek characters, but if you use them, we get the royalties for all the merchandise. And there is zero reason to make a movie, unless you're Zack Snyder, apparently, 0 reasons to make a movie if you can't sell merchandise for it. You know what I'm saying? Like these big franchise movies. 0 reason. Because if people aren't buying the merch, then you might as well have a chick flick. You know what I'm saying? Even Bollywood, the Bollywood movies, they make their movies around their soundtrack. We want you to buy the album. So that's why we make the movie. You know what I'm saying? That's real talk. So they said, oh, well, we'll change the characters enough. As long as they're 25% different, then we don't have to give you merchandise, right? Okay, awesome. So they made the characters different. So they changed origins and they changed a whole bunch of things and whatnot. And then bang, they didn't have to give merch rights. But then CBS was like, these movies are really hot right now, so let's start doing our stuff again. And yeah, they're a mess right now because they're actually competing with each other. The Star Trek universe is competing with each other, and that's insanity. What is this? Franchise wars. Oh my God. That's why I'm a fan of Jim Shooter, Power to the People. That's what I'm talking about, baby. Wow, new suit. Casually Comics does a good review of it. Casually Comics. That's the girl. I seen one of her things before. She was talking about some. I can't remember what it was even about. I shouldn't talk too much about it. But I think I liked what she was doing. Nice, yeah. Casually Comics. That's some good stuff there. So you want to replace it with something better than kill it. To me, it's about fixing things. You know what? Jack Kirby. Jack Kirby left Marvel to go and do the New Gods over at DC, and did a couple other things, you know, whatever. Green Arrow. He did Green Arrow. And then he came back to Marvel. The first thing he came back to Marvel to do was Mad Bomb on Captain America, that story arc, which I showed you guys. I have that final issue, finally. Before Jack Kirby came back, the previous writer, they thought, see, the creator of the character, Jack Kirby, he wanted Captain America to just be this guy who's peak human health, right? He's stronger than most humans only because that's the best that they will ever be able to get. But he's had plenty of issues where they showed like 5 U.S. soldiers were able to take down Captain America, something that we would never go for nowadays. Am I wrong? If 5, even if it's U.S. soldiers, like MPs or infantry, these were MPs in one of these earlier issues before he left in the first place. When he turned around, he was just like, hey, check it out. You know what I'm saying? 5 MP. Captain America goes running up. It's like, I got to tell people something inside the base because this was back in Tales of Suspense. The sleepers have awoken. When he goes running in to start screaming this stuff, the soldiers, the MPs, jumped him. They tackled him. They brought him to the ground easily. He's like, all right, soldiers, I'm good now. I'm good. It's me, though, Captain America, so calm down. Like, all right, Cap, what's going on, bro? So, but like 5 lousy soldiers took him down. But then later on, other writers came along like, you know what? I think Captain America's kind of boring that way. So we're gonna have some kind of a MacGuffin, some kind of a reason, and all of a sudden now he's got super strength. And he found out because he went and he punched a chimney on a roof. Obviously, where else would you put a chimney? And the thing shattered. He's like, oh my god, I didn't realize I'm somehow a whole lot stronger than I was before. Whoa! It was amazing, right? Okay. Jack Kirby comes back and he's like, yeah, 4 issues into it. He just makes a quick one-panel mention, one speech bubble mention, word bubble, where he's like, oh, yeah, I used to be super strong, and I guess that went away now. Oh, well. And he brought him right back. It's as simple as that. Acknowledge that there's a change. Don't just change something. Acknowledge that something's being changed. Acknowledge that you know what came before. Otherwise, we can't help but to take things as they come to us, and we sit there and we go, huh, looks to me like this person doesn't know that such and such happened. Acknowledge that it happened. Some fans will accept it, some fans won't. But at least we know that you know what came before. Derek, oh, you just decided to show up, huh? Well, actually, it was about 23 minutes ago. Oh my God, this is so far back. Aren't retcons just things we didn't know at the time? Yes, and Emma Frost has ice powers. Oh, did that sting a little? I was messing with him on Discord and like, jokingly pissing him off. Like, dude, Cyclops' heat beams are way more powerful than Superman's heat beams. Like, am I right? He's just like, Professor, I know that you know better, but I'm really thinking about doing violence to you right now. That's the kind of love that we have for these characters. We're willing to do violence to each other. Don't do violence to each other. If I have to say that, come on. That's like Nick Lowe doing don't commit suicide just because, Sin Eater committed suicide. Like, thank you. I appreciate that. I guess we needed that message. By the way, that's not how suicide works. That's like the 80s devil scares, saying, oh my God, devil music. Music doesn't cause people to worship the devil or to freaking commit suicide either. Oh my God. Neither does Dungeons and Dragons. Oh my God, we got a sterling appearance. What about the retcons, though? Especially retcons that fix or correct the continuity errors. No, those are good. Like I said, I don't have a problem with retcons. But then again, this was also almost 30 minutes ago. I was talking about, I'm taking too long to get to these things. Cassie Frazier. No, I have the Walgreens Namor. Thank you. I actually got a hold of that about 2 months ago, I think. I appreciate that. Thank you. Rocket Games. Question for you, man. What is your day job? I am a professor. I teach. That's where the name actually comes from. I don't teach university anymore, but I used to actually teach at university English as a foreign language. I have all the qualifications to do it. So I am actually a real life professor, or at least I have had the title before. And now I teach English online to kids in China, but I still have the title Professor Bill. I just changed this to something else. Instead of ho, 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 it's co, co, col right now. But You get the idea. Like, yeah, so my day job is actually teaching English as a foreign language. Bang, and it pays really effing good, and I don't have to leave the house. And it pays really good because they don't offer benefits. But I live in Canada, so I've got benefits. Would love to see a Wonder Woman run that focuses mainly on the mythological side. We've actually seen a lot of those. We've seen a lot of those. Richard, nothing is permanent. You're right. Chaos in comics. What's up, dude? How you doing? Your rats are insightful and compelling as your ravings. Thank you. They would be rantings, but sure, I guess I rave on occasion. I'll rant and rave. And Vengeful made an appearance in the Ghost Rider, ignoring it, but got canceled during COVID. Anch Vengeance? Oh, anyway. What's going on? Oh, this person who shall remain nameless. Hey, sorry, bro, but comics is dead. Move on, brother. Um, I'm just waiting for you to move on. Batman is stupid. Sure. Don't you love it when okay, that's actually a good point though. He lives in the US yet doesn't use guns. That's too funny. That's actually really funny. That's actually a really good point. But anyway, I thought I had mods in here. If not, I'm just gonna put it like this way. Boop. No more Armando. If, at the end of the day, if the dweeb doesn't like comics, why are you here? Just to troll people who like comics? Wow. Mods, don't forget, you're allowed to ban people. You're allowed to permanently boot people from the channel who are clearly just here to try and piss people off. Like, we're a fun community. We don't need dickheads. So there's that. Let's see. One put Batman. Oh, guys, don't even answer people like that. No, the annual is repurposed. Boom. My brother only likes Simpsons comics. Ah! this uh, this Christmas, he completed his art collection. He now owns every Bart Simpson comic ever. What's funny is I actually met the guy who was doing the Simpson comics in Aurelia, up north from where I'm at, and totally freaking cool guy. I'm just saying. So that's actually, I didn't actually get his autograph though. I guess I just didn't. Whatever. So no worry, Raven. I ain't blaming you. I'm just saying, like, you're allowed to. Um, you're allowed to, you can at least put him in timeout. Like, just, comics is dead. Move on. Like, stuff like that is just rude. Like, it's ignoramus stuff. It's like we're actually talking about something that excites us. What apparently excites this dweeb is showing up and insulting people who he wants to call a nerd. But mm, mm. So yeah, we embrace our nerdiness. He needs to embrace the fact that he's just a troll and needs to grow up. So people like that don't belong here. Well, damn, correctly said about Bollywood. As an Indian, I approve. It's totally true. It's definitely totally true. Definitely totally true. And make him say, I'm not insulting Bollywood. One of the reasons why my dentists love me so much is because when I go in there, they're just like, whenever somebody goes in and they're sitting down, they always put on something. They've got all the streaming, like all of the streaming networks. And it's just like, oh, what do you want to watch? What do you want to watch? What do you want? They don't even mess with that right now. They're like, can we put on Gabi Goshi Gabigam? I'm like, you really want to watch that again? Fine, put it on again. But next time, I need you to bring in a DVD player. I'm going to bring in something really good, like Ashoka. And they're just like, what? You love Ashoka? Of course I love Ashoka. Let's bring in something good like Mr. India. You know what I'm saying? Let's bring in some like Bangladeshi movies like Pagli. Do you remember Pagli? Like, oh my God, like really good stuff. That's the stuff I want to see. Mother India. Mother India, if you want to cry your eyes out, it's black and white, deal with it. Mother India is a freaking amazing movie. You could watch historical dramatization thing like Lagan. Dude, there's some really good Bollywood flicks out there, like amazingly good. I'm not making fun of Bollywood in any way, shape, or form, but they're totally putting their stuff out just to sell the songs because that's the whole reason why they do it. Dude, if life was a freaking Bollywood, like, could we really have fights if there was Bollywood? I mean, I know that every so often you see fights in movies and whatnot, right? But like they're Matrix style fights and they're amazing. Look at some of the Bollywood stuff that's out there. It's absurdly good. There's also stuff like if you're in love with someone, how much more likely are you to actually be able to have a romantic, lengthy relationship with this person if everybody just broke into song and choreographed dance in the streets while you're singing to this woman? You know what I'm saying? Like, hello, romances would last forever. And everybody just knew the words to it, including the woman. Try Three Idiots. Yeah, I saw that. I always refer back to the Three Idiots that they do, like in Ken, No Eyes. A dangerous secret is about to be revealed. With Amarish Pur. No, not Amarish Puri. What the hell am I thinking? Oh, what the hell is his name? Oh, come on, Amitabh Bachchan. Anyway, with his stuff, with on Khan specifically, there's the one guy who actually is Muslim, but he's always playing the idiot Muslim character, and it's like I'm tired of seeing these guys. You know what I'm saying? Tired of seeing these guys in some of these movies, man. Just stop. Just can we not make it like subtle jabs at each other? I thought I missed this. What are we talking about? Nothing. We weren't even talking about anything. Anyway, do you guys know who this is? Kabam! How about this guy? Kabam! By the way, he does come with his ball. How about this guy here? Kabam! He's not supposed to come with a ball, but he comes with a ball anyway. The guy sent me another ball. Okay, that's nice of him. Also, isn't there one more guy? Kabam! So I got the Wrecking Crew. These are highly sought after because they only made one and they never sold them together. They never sold these guys together. These are all Marvel Legends characters. Right here, Bulldozer was actually the most recent release. Pile Driver, I think, was released right before. Oh my God, why do I forget the black guy's name? Damn it. Thunderball, right before Thunderball. And then the Wrecker was actually the first one released. And all of these characters were released in multiple different ways over the course of like 4 years. So one of these characters will be released per year. So it's super hard to get a hold of these. They've never been released in a 4-pack before. With it, they should just release them in a 4-pack, you know? Or have all 4 of these, plus I guess another version of Thor, whatever, or not, plus a regular version of Absorbing Man. That would be cool, because we've always got the ones with him changing shape and stuff like that and changing, whatever. Do that. And then have and she's actually putting down the freaking names right there. Nice. Have those and maybe one other guy, whatever. I don't care. Somebody, and then have build a figure for Ulik. How cool would that be? Get some actual Thor characters together. Ah, So anyway, bang! I got all 4 of them, and like that is a huge, serious find for me. Wow. So now the Thor storytelling can genuinely go to a whole new level. A whole new level. Granted, this guy's weapon has been a crowbar his entire career history. One time the Joker uses a crowbar, forever indelible in our memories, right? Think about that. Power to the people. My 2021 prediction, we will have a Lensher family reunion in the comics. Yes, I've been talking about that also, that the Scarlet Witch and Quicksilver, Pietro or Wanda and Pietro Maximoff, respectively, will in fact be mutants once again. I am expecting that now that the movie rights are back and they're actually announcing the movies and stuff like that. Yes, I fully believe that's going to be the case. All right. I am at the bottom of the comics. I'm at the bottom of my toy bin here, and I've got a podcast to prepare for. Oh, wife has already started prettying herself up. She's always pretty. It don't matter. Really, why not go with groups of characters for waves? Could do the OG Justice League with a build, a figure Martian Manhunter, OG Avengers, build with figure Thanos. You're not wrong. And you'd figure that that would sell pretty well. Here's the problem with that from a marketing perspective. If they only did that, like if they did a Thunderbolts wave, there's some people out there whose eyes were like, really? So like they would re-release like the Punisher with the red skull, and because they did that once before, they would re-release like all these and like the newest version of Ghost and Luke Cage and his Thunderbolts, like and build a figure Juggernaut and stuff like that. Oh my God, that'd be right. Yeah, but then you also have a whole bunch of other people who would be like Thunderbolts who, and for the most part, nobody would care. You know what I'm saying? Juggernaut's already been released twice, the movie version and the comic book version. Yeah, nobody really cares for the most. Actually, I should say the comic book version and the cartoon version. Yeah, there's gonna be a lot of people who don't care. Maybe you got this wave, that wave, all these other waves, and for the most part, you can have people who do and people who don't care. But when you mix it up a lot, then it's like, oh, well, let me grab. I'm really interested in two characters from this wave. And you know what always happens? I'm going to say easily 75% of the time. Easily 75% of the time, you're like, they got the other ones on the shelves. Whatever, I'll just grab these characters. I'll just build the wave. Whatever. I'm going to have the head and the left leg of the character. I might as well just build a freaking character. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, there are some people who don't. You will meet those amongst collectors who don't collect everything. But for the most part, nah, you're getting the whole damn thing. You're getting the whole damn thing. So, and they know what's up. Meanwhile, if you just did a wave of just Avengers, just X-Men, which they do, case in point, the newest X-Men wave, the newest wave is focused on the Krakoan X-Men. They've got the Magneto in the white uniform, which that's a must-have. Am I wrong? Right? Especially ever since we saw that one issue where he's got his red, his black, and his yellow and his white armor all next to each other, and we're just like, bruh, right? So at this point, I mean, come on, right? We're gonna have to get that one, and then they're gonna have Professor X with the freaking the Cerebro helmet on. Yeah, I'm sure there's gonna be a bunch of people who are interested in that one. Whatever. There's the Marvel Girl one, which it looks like OG Marvel Girl from like X-Men issue #1 back in 1964, I think it was. It might have been 63, but around 64. We were just talking about the Scarlet Witch, and I know that issue #4 came out in 1964. So there's that. There's that Wolverine, which I think for the most part nobody cares about. Like it's a boxy version of Wolverine that doesn't look good, and people are just like, eh, you know. And what's the build away figure? There's another version of Cyclops, which I don't know. Maybe some people are interested in. I think most of the collectors that I hear, even people are mad about Cyclops. Like, oh my God, a Cyclops! It's like they just had too many Cyclops. We've been waiting forever for a Cyclops release, and then they got a whole bunch of them together, and it took forever to get our hands on these, and we spent a lot of money on these, because they didn't make enough of them. Now they're going to make this one that not too many of us care that much about, and it's very specific to the Krakoan. Plus, they're changing the costume now, starting with, I believe, the next issue of X-Men. So that by the time that this character is released to us, it's not going to be relevant anymore. Most of us are just looking at it like, yeah, nobody cares. You know what I'm saying? And that just continues to happen. Nobody cares about a lot of these things. And what's the Build-A-Wave figure in this? It's a Tri-Sentinel. Don't get your hopes up. All right. It's not the Tri-Sentinel from Acts of Vengeance back in the freaking late 80s or I think it was the early 90s, whatever it was. I think it was the late 80s. But whatever it was, the Acts of Vengeance Spider-Man when he became Cosmic Spider-Man, Captain Universe Spider-Man. It's not that Tri-Sentinel. No. Instead, it's this goofy little one that we haven't even seen. Maybe they'll show it at some point, but it's this little thing that's like this. It's about the same size as all the other 6-inch figures or 1/12 scale figures. And it's got 3 heads just do right in front of each other. It's not even as cool as a Quintesson. The Quintessons are cooler than this thing. Nobody cares about this stupid thing. So for the most part, like that's a wave where I believe everybody's just going for Moira McTaggart. Yeah, Moira's going to be released. She's going to have 2. It's actually 1 figure in 2. I think there's going to be a bunch of people who are going to get 2 different, or who are going to get 2 Moira McTaggart figures, because you can make one of them look like in the doctor's uniform, another one looking like that one uniform with the pink big beret and the pink clothes and the mini skirt and everything like that. Like you can actually make both of them out of the same thing, two different heads and stuff like it's really cool. Two different arms. Like they're really going out of their way with this stuff. It's just so for the most part, nobody cares anymore about these characters if they're just all in, one wave. So from a marketing perspective, I think that they're going to be seeing more of all of them. Wait, what? Cosmic Spider-Man? Do they have a Cosmic Spider-Ham? No, but if you were writing comics, you can make one. If they don't, I'm going to sue. Well, there's going to be a lawsuit, and I can't wait to see this one. Make sure you put Comic Book University in the title. I just want to see it's funny. Like, they'd never have something like this at the Comic Book University. I don't know what I'm going to sue, but I sure as heck will. Yeah, no, they don't have a Cosmic Spider Ham that I've ever seen. That'd be cool, though, if they did do something like that, right? Why not? Jeez. Okay, WhatsApp. It's my school. Keep on yelling at me. Now I have to, no, Siri, I don't want to talk to you. Shut up. Dumbass. Turn that off. Anyway, no more notifications from them. So, what do we got here? Professor Bill, but his crowbar has magic powers. Why change his weapon? No. Why change his weapon? Heck, they don't have powers if that weapon gets changed. No, what I'm saying is the Joker's use of the crowbar one time was more effective than anything that the Wrecker has ever done with his crowbar, Please give us gamers a Marvel hero game similar to SCUP. I don't know what SCU. Oh, DCUO. Yeah. Also get better tech help than what DCUO has. But yeah, exactly. This is exactly what we want. Something like that. And no, I don't get it. You know what? They should have just left freaking Heroes Online alone. You know what I'm saying? They should have just left that alone and let us make our own superheroes just like all of them. So mad. The Nimrod 3-pack is on sale for like 40% off on Canadian Amazon. I'm only getting it for Nimrod. Yeah, I understand. And yeah, it's like $43 Canadian right now, or 47. And if you got Amazon Prime Canadian, then you get it for, free shipping. Yes, I paid full price for it, and now I'm a little bit upset that I paid full price for it. But anyway, it's good stuff. Generally good stuff. I'm a BA Spider-Man. I'm a badass Spider-Man. That's the first story I'll write. Van Forstick versus BVS Dawn of Justice. Dawn of Justice at least had really great cinematography, so that's a given. For a movie that I don't like that much, BVS I'm talking about, that's way better than Van Forstick. Like that was just a mess behind the scenes and everything. In Bark, they have a what if Spider-Man kept his cosmic powers. Yes, I remember that one. And Additions. Don't know what Additions is, but yeah. All right, guys. Love and peace. That's well over 2 hours. I was literally thinking just come on here for like a half an hour. I thought nobody was going to be here because it's day after Christmas. And like, I guess we're all finished with Christmas leftovers. We're all in a freaking food coma. And we're just, this guy wants to talk. Let him talk. That's certainly a possibility. But anyway, I will talk to all of you guys later. Love, peace, and hair grease. Also paid full price for that. That's exactly the problem that I have. I was going to talk about the Alpha Flight pack, and I didn't talk about the Alpha Flight pack. But yeah, when I bought that in advance, and I was like, oh my God, yes. I thought that was going to sell out. It did not sell out. It actually wound up coming to EB Games. You can find them in EB Games. That's supposed to be an Amazon exclusive. EB Games is not Amazon. They didn't buy them. That'd be interesting if they did, and I would expect that at some point, but they didn't. So, yeah, man. Epic fail on a universal scale. Yeah, so but then again, there's also things like the Star Wars Black Series, the Emperor in his chair, in his throne. I would love to get my hands on that. And I saw it on sale, and I was like, I wonder if I can get it less than that. Now you can't even get it on Amazon for regular price. It's only, people afterwards who are selling it. It's messed up. Let's do something live soon. Brother, if you want to do something live, I will 100% do something live with you. It could just be a shooting the shit. I would love to. I love your philosophy and your take on life. Yeah, absolutely. Dude, you said the word. Done. Consider it done. And we can't get the Children of Thanos exclusive on Canadian Amazon. Are you serious? We're not going to be able to do that? Okay, honestly, we could still get stuff from American Amazon. And if you get Amazon Prime through there, I believe the shipping is still free. And they usually have better prices on the Amazon. And they definitely have a way better selection on Amazon.com as opposed to .ca. I'm not saying anything. I'm just saying. So, Suan, you're still here, even though you're probably still playing video games, which I really want to jump in and play also. I'm sorry. You underestimate our passion, Professor. Also, thanks for the live stream. Enjoy your night. Continues to build and Conan. I knew it. I knew it. I knew it. Have a lovely night, students. You all rock. And you know what? Suan is right. You all do rock. Seriously, thanks for showing up. Thanks for stopping by. Thanks for saying what's up. Dave McClinton, does Canada have any superheroes? I would love. Oh, wait. That was Mark Guerrero said that. It jumped. Wonder Woman 2 review. I didn't see it yet, but I will, and then I will, Dane, no worries. But Mark Guerrero, I have to introduce you to Richard Pace. I have to introduce you to, oh, for crying out loud, Captain Canuck creator, Richard Cumley. Do you see the mistake there? My bad. Richard Cumley, the hands down nicest guy you'll ever meet. He's a member of the Church of Latter-day Saints, just like Alice Cooper. Also a very cool conversation. I'm saying I would love to introduce you to this man, introduce you to Captain Canuck, and yes, aside from that, Alpha Flight. All right, I'll talk to you guys later. Just talk to Jim Zub about that. Professor Bill, Comic Book University. Take it easy, guys, and Merry post-Christmas. When's the next podcast? The next podcast comes in the new year. Holy crap! This is the final live stream, I should say, and podcast tomorrow morning. The Comic Book University podcast of this year, guys. I will definitely be doing more comic book reviews, but the last time I'll be talking to you guys live, I believe, will be here. So talk to you all later. Hope you had a good Christmas. Hope Santa gave you everything you wanted. Whatever holiday it is that you're celebrating, Hanukkah, Chanukah, like on the Jim Cornette podcast. Smokey Robinson, I love you, brother. I love you to death. Or Kwanzaa, honestly, yes, it's a real holiday. Don't front, it's a real holiday. Whatever it is you're celebrating, God bless. Take it easy. And yeah, talk to you later. Class dismissed, guys.